Hi guys, welcome to another beer review. And is there any personal information on that fridge? No, should be okay. Yeah, got a bit of a special beer today, and one that has been on my list for such a long time, but I've never really ever been presented with an opportunity to try it. Although it has appeared a few times here in the UK over recent months and for this year, and it's a heavily traded beer as well. So it makes its way to the UK, but I never really get the opportunity to try it. And thankfully, the Mikkeller Beer Club box has provided me with this opportunity. In fact, we got 3 beers from this brewery, and all of them very highly regarded. Of course, the brewery is the Alchemist, and this is a can of the classic Heady Topper, which is a double IPA, clocking in at 8% ABV. These guys are based out of Vermont. I think I was having problems in my Crusher review to actually work out what the state was. But yeah, anyway, just look at that. Fantastic stuff on the artwork. A classic beer. One that definitely inspired the sort of new wave of hazy IPAs. And that's the thing, I'm not going into this beer trying to compare it to what we have now, because it's quite an old recipe, to be honest. And yeah, but I'm just so happy that I get to try it. So, a little bit of a blurb on the back. Heady Topper is an American double IPA. This beer is not intended to be the biggest or the most bitter. It is meant to give you wave after wave of hoppy goodness on your palate. Tremendous amounts of American hops will creep up on you and leave you with a dense, hoppy finish in your mouth. So drinkable, it's scary. Sometimes I could wish I could crawl right back into the can. Freshness and control have always been my main concern when it comes to our beer. We are committed to providing you with an unfiltered and unpasteurised hop experience. Why do I recommend that you drink it from the can? Quite simply, to ensure a delightful hop experience. The act of pouring it into a glass smells nice, but it releases the essential hop aromas that we have worked so hard to retain. If you must pour into a glass, you may find that some of the hop resins may have settled to the bottom. Leave them in the can when pouring. This beer is perishable and at its best when it's young, fresh and hazy. Keep it cold, but not ice cold. Drink this beer immediately. We are always making more. John Kimmich, The Alchemist, Waterbury, Vermont. And wonderful artwork from the artist whose name escapes me. I think he's like a musician as well. But yeah, iconic artwork, as you would expect. And I'm preaching to the choir with this one, because I'm sure 99% of the people, don't know why I said 90 that way, about 99% of the people watching this will have already drank this or have probably heard of it. But yeah, lovely, lovely stuff. Don't be a D-bag, recycle this can. So I will be drinking out of the can, but of course YouTube is a visual medium, so I will be pouring some into my Hop City glass, just to give you a visual representation of the beer. But then I will be just drinking it from the can, because if I'm advised to do so by the brewer, who seems to be very vocal about his beers, which is fantastic to see, I could do with more of stuff like that, where the actual head brewer, owner of the brewery, fucking bar staff have talked about the beer on the can. It's better than this bullshit marketing that you're getting nowadays, and it's better than just no information at all. So I really like that, and of course I will be keeping that can. So I'll be recycling it as art. So anyway, let's see what we get with this one. Now, I know that first pour into this is not going to be exactly what it would look like with the rest of the beer in the glass, but you know, drink it from the can. That's what they've advised me to do, so I will respect that. So it's looking hazy already. I don't think they've altered this recipe over the years. I could be completely wrong about that, so I do apologise if that's misinformation. But beer in a glass then, and yeah, it's hazy, but it's not as hazy as you would expect. I would say that once everything was in a bigger glass, it would be a little bit more bulkier. But yeah, lovely sort of golden lemon curd look to it. Looks a bit more amber on camera, and just shy of 2 fingers worth of a lovely white head, which is being slightly stained by those hops. So it's got this sort of like yellowish twang to it, or tinge, I should say. But it's certainly looking not out of place with the craft beer IPA landscape right now. So anyway, let's see what we get on the nose. Oh, it's a lovely, gentle, juicy American hop presence, but not a really overly sweet presence. You get that subtle oniony, garlicky dankness there. There's a little bit of a citrusy resin note. But yeah, loads of stone fruit. Tiny bit of like a slightly seasoned mango as opposed to like a fresh, ripe, vibrant mango. And yes, my hair looks absolutely terrible when it's just washed and then just left. I look like a fucking mushroom off Super Mario Brothers. There we go, at least there's some character to it. I look good, don't I, for this special beer review, but anyway. Loads of blood orange in there as well. It's smelling really nice and vibrant and contemporary, so let's give it a taste. Cheers, guys. Oh, that's wonderful. Reading the back of the can, I was expecting a little bit more of a gentleness to it, but now it's actually got a little bit of bite. A big lime kick almost, right off the bat. Then these lovely sort of melony grapefruit flavours come through. A very subtle amount of mango, maybe a little bit of peach in there. The tartness of a gooseberry almost as well. But they're all subtle and well balanced. There's a big bitterness on the back end, which I really, really like. But no inkling that that's an 8% beer at all. I think I'm getting maybe just a little bit of warmth going down. But yeah, that is drinking like a dream. I mean, let's see, is there a date on the can? I don't think there is. Let me try and think how long I've had this can now. I think it's like maybe a couple of weeks fresh when Mikkeller had received it. A couple of weeks to a month old. And the box was released in early December. So, you know, it is coming up towards Christmas now as I'm recording this review. So some may say that I have held on to it for a little bit too long. But for me, it's just drinking like an absolute dream. It's got this sort of like classic, almost subtle West Coast sensibility to it, where nowadays a lot of these beers just go completely on the opposite end of the spectrum. So it's got this classic yet contemporary edge to it. But I can definitely see why people love this beer. I love those citrusy tones. I love the bitterness on the back end. I love the gentle body. It's not the boldest of bodies, but it's not a light body. Yeah, this is a beer that I could just drink time and time again. Do you know what I mean? So let's see what it's like from the can. It's so much more rounded and gentler from the can, because I took quite a big gulp then. So you do notice a difference actually, which I was not expecting. Bit more of like a hoppy warmth on the can. So that's got, it's not a heat, but it's a little bit of like a spice. During you've seasoned something very gently with something like a cayenne pepper, it doesn't really impart flavour or heat. It just, you know, no, not gesturing breasts. It just sort of just enhances things. I think this is a wonderful beer. It really, really is. And I'm so glad that I actually have finally been able to drink it. But yeah, again, it's an older recipe. It's a bit of a classic or modern classic now. We've come a heck of a long way since this beer, but you could definitely taste this beer in the style that is popular right now with the hazy Vermont New England style IPAs. So you could trace it back to this. And yeah, I would happily demolish a 4-pack of this. Definitely have to get up to Vermont sometime. Just because of, well, not only for the beer, but just for the landscape and the country itself. Well, America also. But just fantastic. It's a classic for a reason. And some might drink this and think, oh yeah, it's alright. But you've just got to take it into consideration. This is a slightly older beer, you know, in the grand scheme of things. It's one of those pioneering beers. And I think it still tastes absolutely bloody lovely. So, yeah, it's one of the IPAs that I would drink on a daily basis if I could. I can't pick out any faults from it at all. I really can't. It's not blowing my socks off. Doesn't need to. It's got a real sense of maturity to it, which I really like. And just the right amount of hop bite. Just the right amount of hop sweetness. It's not juice or anything like that. But I think that's absolutely bloody wonderful. So, surprise, Heady Topper gets a 10 out of 10 for me. It's one of those beers that you just can't stop drinking. Oh, you taste the difference out of the can. That is absolutely mental. It really is. And that's not going to last long. That's nearly finished. So if you've tried Heady Topper, then let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. Where do you think it stands in this sort of landscape that we have now? Are you a fan? Do you think it's overrated? Does it deserve the prestige that it gets? What are some of your favourite Alchemist beers? I've still got a can of the Focal Banger, which when you talk about those like big free beers from the Alchemist, it's either Focal Banger or Heady Topper that gets like the biggest praise. But yeah, I think this is a terrific beer. So your thoughts, opinions, always welcome. Check out the Alchemist down below. If you're interested by any of these beers that I've had from the Mikkeller Beer Club or beer mailboxes, then I'll put my referral link down below as well. And yeah, check out my review of Crusher, and also, if it's uploaded, check out my review of Focal Banger as well. And hopefully we could get more of this as well as other beers from I was going to call them Heady Topper then, from the Alchemist, because that's 2 out of 2 that I've really enjoyed. Anyway, if any of my friends and fellow beer tubers have reviewed this one, then their link's going to be down below. And yeah, thank you for joining me, and hopefully you'll join me next time for another beer review. Cheers, you're all awesome.